free to start your New Year's revolution today.
And we continue with our American stories. Up next, you'll meet Genevieve Church. Genevieve runs a very unique business in San Francisco. That is City Grazing. City Grazing is a sustainable land management organization powered by goats. Here's Genevieve to tell us about how the business came to be and also the history of goats in San Francisco, beginning with Estelle West, the first goat lady.
Goats in San Francisco have a long history, and women raising goats in San Francisco, there is a long history. Estelle West was raising goats, and she was at a time when having livestock for meat, for milk, was relatively common still in the Bay Area. But she was one of the last people who was actually in San Francisco proper, raising animals and making her living from them. San Francisco was busily becoming a city and didn't want livestock within city limits anymore. Estelle West was quite a character, apparently, and loved to flout authority, and she just wanted to keep raising goats the way her family had been. And so she was a mild criminal, shall we say, in keeping her goats in places where the city didn't really want goats kept. After her, this very sweet woman that I met, who was the second goat lady of San Francisco, she had been raising goats on Potrero Hill, which was a little bit less of a settled area in San Francisco. When she was a kid, her family had about 5 or 6 goats, sometimes as many as 15. They didn't have as large of a herd, and they were not dependent on them for their income, but they were a part of their family's income stream. And when the city was laying the first sidewalks in Potrero Hill, her goats got out and ran across the newly laid cement and left goat hoof marks in San Francisco's first sidewalk in Potrero Hill. A lot of trouble. They made her family get rid of their goats. I met her when she was in her 80s. And so I'm really happy to get to carry on the tradition of livestock in San Francisco and goats in San Francisco. And of course, it's also an honor to get to be the third crazy goat lady of San Francisco. I'm the executive director of City Grazing. We are the last local herd of working animals in the city. We actually take in retired dairy goats, and we give them kind of a second lease on life. All they have to do for us is eat for a living. So they go out, they eat a lot of the brush that's unwanted, a lot of the invasive vegetation that we have, and both reduce fire hazard and improve the health of some of our small local forests in San Francisco. City Grazing was started as a little bit of just a fun side project by a man named David Gavrich, who owned a industrial waste management company. And he thought it would be a fun way to advertise their commitment to green methods and to keeping their waste processing very clean by having a herd of goats that actually lived on site next door to the waste processing center. It's pretty common in California to see goats grazing on the side of the freeways. So there are a few different companies in California that do large-scale goat grazing. These are companies that have 1,000 animals or up to 4,000 animals and graze in really big areas alongside like Chevron's processing plants, alongside the freeways, alongside some of the wind farms and solar farms in California. These are really common companies that use grazing animals to keep their fire hazard down. And David saw that, thought it would be a lot of fun to do on a small scale in the city. So he started with just a few goats, didn't really think much about how goats multiply, ended up pretty quickly having 40 goats, and at that point was renting them out. He was renting them to backyards, and that was in 2008 that he got started. I came on board in 2012. I answered a very random Craigslist ad. I had just moved back into San Francisco, was looking for a new career, and found a very unusual ad that said, write us a paragraph, tell us why you're qualified to take care of our 40 goats in Bayview while our current goat herd goes home on vacation for 6 weeks. And I thought, no one has 40 goats in Bayview. Bayview is an industrial part of the city. And I was just like, I have to see this. I grew up on a cattle ranch. I've been around animals most of my childhood, and I never really thought I'd work with them again. So I randomly answered this ad, and we just kind of hit it off. David and I got along very well. The goats definitely needed more care than they were getting. At that time, he just had one of the employees from the rail yard who was taking care of them. So I just kind of never left. And in 2015, I took over management. In 2017, we converted to a nonprofit. And that's really allowed us to open up who we work with and what we do. It lets us adopt animals rather than purchasing or breeding. It lets us have more work with municipalities, with schools, with universities. It also allows us to be a little bit more proactive in our hiring policies. So we really strive to give work to people who are from our underserved neighborhoods in San Francisco. So it's opened a lot of doors for us. What we do is specialize in strips of undeveloped land, and San Francisco has a lot of that. There's a lot of back hillsides or park areas that haven't been landscaped, and that's where we come in. And then also just backyards. We do a fair amount of backyards. It's a lot of fun to bring somebody 5 goats to spend a week in their yard and with their family, interact and see what that's like. And most of our goats are really friendly. They love people. They're easy to hang out with, and you wouldn't necessarily want to keep them forever, but they're a lot of fun for a week. The community loves the goats, absolutely loves them. From being completely startled to see a goat, we get the "why are there goats here?" questions from passersby. We get kids who've never seen a goat before and do not know what they are and say, "Mommy, what's wrong with that dog?" Or, "Is that a donkey?" That was my favorite question that I've ever gotten. The goats have a lot of fans, and so we always publicize if we're at a location where the public can come and view the grazing, and that is just an amazing side benefit of what we do. It's really great to be able to give back to the planet. It's great to be able to contribute to the health of trees, because a lot of what the goats eat is the Himalayan blackberry, which is an invasive here, and a few different forms of ivy. So it's a lot of our work is taking care of those 2 plants to keep the trees in some of our parks, like the Presidio, Mount Sutro. These are a couple of the larger parks in San Francisco that we do a lot of work for. It's really about tree health. It's also about fire hazard reduction, but a huge part, especially in the last few years, people were just looking for anything that they could do outside with their kids, like how do we get out of the house? And you can always come visit the goats, right? So it's just so much fun to give people that kind of outlet. And it's not just people with their kids. We've got dog walkers who bring their dogs. The dogs are fascinated. They've never seen goats before either. These are city dogs, right? They do not know what livestock is. So they have a lot of fun. And the goats are so funny. They're very used to the urban environment. Goats are such adaptive animals. You wouldn't put a horse or a cow or a sheep in some of the situations that we very often put our goats. The goats are just like, "Oh yeah, okay, is this the new place we're staying for a week? Cool." And they'll interact with the people, they'll interact with the dogs. They get bored if they're in one location. As anyone who has can tell you, goats get very bored and they will start trying to break out. They love to explore new space. They love new vegetation, and so we find they have much better manners if we are moving them around pretty regularly, giving them new grounds to stomp on. Our mission is sustainable land management, and that's really just about inspiring people to find creative solutions to the problems that we have. What we do is so beneficial, but it's really just goats being goats. It's a very elegant solution to the problem of overgrowth or fire hazard or invasive plants, because we put the goats on them, and the goats don't do anything special. They just do what goats do. They compete with each other for food, and they have a great time doing it.
And you're listening to Genevieve Church, the third crazy goat lady of San Francisco. More of her story here on Our American Stories.
mygovernment.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 50 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-473-3993 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-473-3993. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-473-3993 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-473-3993.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you're allergic to pork or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON info.com.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Imagine an island escape to relax on white sand beaches, enjoy fun adventures like scuba diving, and be greeted by warm, welcoming people. That's what you'll find when you visit Fiji. And there's no easier or better way to get there than with Fiji Airways. Your tropical paradise getaway is just one non-stop flight away, with round-trip fares starting at $899 from LAX or SFO. Or check out great fares to Australia and New Zealand with seamless connections via Fiji. Book now at FijiAirways.com. Fiji, your easy island escape. This is it. This is the year. Enough dreaming about growing my business online. It's time to get serious about selling in my style, as big as I want to grow, because there's nothing I can't do. It's time to get Shopify and take my business to the next level.
Well, someone's ready to take on the new year.
Oh, I thought I was talking to myself there. But heck yeah, 2023 is my year.
That's not your average resolution. That's a revolution.
It's a New Year's revolution. Start selling with Shopify to join the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Packed with industry-leading tools ready to ignite your growth, Shopify gives you complete control over your business and your brand. From templates that make site design simple to customizations that let you grow at your pace. This is possibility powered by Shopify. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/iHeartFree. Shopify.com/iHeartFree. Go to shopify.com/iHeartFree to start your New Year's revolution today.
News until NATO. More rain, more flooding forecast for much of California Wednesday. Meteorologist Robert Barafaldi of the Sacramento office of the National Weather Service says they've had 16 days of rain so far.
Just in the valley, we're 8 to 12 inches around the Sacramento area.
At least 17 people dead, millions under flood warnings. President Biden said he doesn't know what's in the potentially classified documents found in his former office. He told reporters Tuesday,
"People know I take classified documents, classified information seriously."
He said they were handed properly over to the National Archives, but House Speaker Kevin McCarthy told Fox,
"They think they can lie to the American public. They think they can control the media."
The Republican chair of the House Oversight Committee said he is investigating. America's listening to Fox News.
Who can Can you call 24 hours a day for help with your water heater? Water Heaters Only. That's who. Or visit waterheatersonly.com. A live expert answers the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit waterheatersonly.com. That's waterheatersonly.com.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Into our American stories and to generation of city grazing, the goat management and fire San Francisco. Let's pick up last left off.
So many amazing goats, and they come to us from all over. As I said, most of our goats are retired dairy goats. Their milk production drops off and it's hard on their bodies. So it's really fun for us to be able to take those ladies in and retrain them. We take them in and just put them in basically that pasture and then leave them there for a week. And when they first come to us, they'll come to the fence every morning like, isn't someone supposed to do something with me now? Don't I have to go somewhere? And we're like, nope, just go eat with the rest of the goats. But we also, every year, we try and adopt in some of the little orphan dairy boys. Dairy goats have to have a baby every year in order to keep getting the females go back into the dairy industry, but those males usually go into the meat industry. And we like to adopt a few of those in every year and raise them to be grazing goats. So those little guys, they are very social. They've been hand-raised by people. They really turn to us for all of their needs. They're so much fun to interact with. They're really naturalized to people, and they have big personalities. But some of our other goats are rescue goats that have come from, you name it, all different situations. And yes, all of our goats have names, from Regina, the complaining dairy goat who never stops yelling at us, to we have Huck and Finn, who are a pair of twins. Another pair that we have is Curry and Stu. Their original owner raised them for food, but he bought them as babies and he loved them so much he just fell in love with them and called us and kind of shamefacedly said, I can't eat my goats, can you take them for me? So we took them in. But my favorite two, they've actually both passed on now. Princess and Udo came to us. They didn't seem to know that they were goats. They were these enormous, enormous alpine goats. And they had been raised in someone's kitchen in Oakland. They'd been raised on people food. They'd never grazed. They'd been eating breakfast cereal and apparently human food their whole lives. The lady who raised them was very eccentric. Her neighbors were complaining to the health department. She reached out to us and we were like, yeah, sure, we'll take them. So we went to get them and we didn't really think it through. We didn't understand that they, other than going into her backyard, they really hadn't been outside. She was keeping them in the house. So we had to teach them how to live outside. We had to teach them how to graze. We had to expose them, and they were adults. They were both quite large. And in the end, both of them took over the herd. Both of them were the alpha males in the herd. And we named Princess because he was so high maintenance. I have to say, that name wasn't really supposed to stick because he was the biggest white male goat with giant horns that you've ever seen. And it was just kind of an ironic name because he didn't know how to eat or take care of himself. He was such a princess. We had to wait on him hand and foot before he learned how to be a goat. By the end, he was the king and he just ruled the entire herd. So those two probably are my favorite rescue story. But we have others. We have goats that came to us from 4-H. So they're 4-H kids that had raised them, didn't want them to end up being harvested, so they donated them to us rather than sell them at the fair. One of them, though, he had a little accident, and this was before he came to us. He lost the tip of his ear, and they decided he couldn't be shown as breeding stock, which was the intention when he was raised. His name is Dipper. Dipper looks like a small rhinoceros without horns. He's the most muscular goat I've ever seen. He has giant, thick legs and huge feet and a giant head. He looks like he could knock all the other goats down. that he's the ultimate and gentle giant. He doesn't know he's strong. He doesn't know that he's just the brutal. Goat ever, and he stands off to the side and lets all the other goats eat first, and we have to keep him in with the old ladies because he does not understand his own strength. So I think